Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Charles Wong and I'm the Program Director for the Calgary Emergency Medicine Enhanced Skills Program, and I am making this video to share some information with you so that we can answer all the common questions that are asked by residents and applicants about our program, and also to give you a little bit of a primer for what you're going to experience at the interview tomorrow. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a graduate of the 2+1 program here in Calgary, both family and emergency medicine. I am in my 9th year of practice here. And the Calgary Emergency Medicine Department and program are essentially an extension of my family. It's an amazing place to work, and it's also an amazing place to train. All the people who you're going to be meeting tomorrow during the interview are also emergency medicine graduates from the University of Calgary here, and who are all currently either staff or residents in our program. So common questions that we have about what the University of Calgary Emergency Medicine program are like are answered in the following. The clinical department of the Calgary Emergency Medicine department is basically a unified group of over 250 staff physicians with shared backgrounds between Royal College and CCFP EM, which is give or take half-half depending on the year. This means that our hospital system, which includes 4 adult hospitals and 1 children's hospital, are not divided into different hospital groups or even different health authorities. We share a common clinical leadership, as well as the same EMR and resource sharing amongst all the hospitals. So there's no change in your day-to-day practice when you move from one hospital to another. It also means that all of us have an amazing relationship with the people who work at the other hospitals. We're on a first name basis with everyone else, and it allows us to basically have access to all the expertise that exists around us. So we have numerous leaders in various clinical subdomains like point of care ultrasound, medical education, flight or transport medicine, just to name a few small examples. And all these things are things that EM residents might choose to become interested in themselves and have the support to develop these interests while in their residency or immediately following their residencies. It also means that you're going to be exposed to a variety of training backgrounds as EM residents. EM residents in our program will rotate through the 4 adult hospitals and the children's hospital and work with staff from different training backgrounds, both Royal College and EM. They will receive some specialized support from EM physicians in the form of a longitudinal preceptor, as well as myself, the program director, who understands specifically the needs and the training pathway of the 2+1 emergency doctor. We also have an amazing relationship with our Royal College Emergency Medicine program. Essentially, we share a large proportion of our Thursday academic day resources and activities with them. This includes things like didactic teaching sessions, procedural sessions like airway days or cadaver days, and it also includes a lot of co-teaching where you will be teaching a lot of your peers. This is a really important and valuable skill to have as an emergency room doctor, because we do a lot of medical education pretty much no matter where you work in Canada. Working alongside the Royal College residents, it confers a lot of benefits, not least the fact that we reduce redundancy in resource allocation within our programs, but it also allows us to have a great collaborative atmosphere with our peers, who are going to be not only our learning peers as residents, but also our peers and contacts as soon as we move into clinical practice, which is a lot sooner than you think. A lot of the resources that we share include things like procedural days and cadaver days, which I'd already mentioned. We have a lot of these sessions, I think, relative to some programs because of the history of the collaboration we have between these programs, as well as some other programs like anesthesia and ICU, who we share some of these academic days with. And this is definitely considered a benefit in our program. Another benefit of our program is that, well, I think of it as a benefit, is basically the extreme rigor that you're going to be exposed to here. Not only are we going to be training you to pass the CCFP EM exam, which happens usually in September the year following your EM year, but we're going to be developing a framework or scaffolding that will allow you to build on the things that you know and don't know yet as you progress into your practice in the first 3 to 5 years, essentially achieving the competencies to become emergency medicine specialists over the course of the first few years of your academic practice. Another thing I would highlight in the emergency medicine program here is that we have the amazing support of our program administrator, Tris, as well as his wife, Madhavi, who is the PA for the Royal College program. You'll already have received a number of emails from Tris. He is the backbone of this program. He's going to be coordinating all of your rotations, your vacation requests, and a lot of the administrative things that need to go smoothly in order for you to have an excellent residency training experience. One of the questions I'm often asked is, where do graduates go to work after they finish our program? And I think the answer is probably similar for a lot of urban academic emergency medicine programs, which is that our goal is to train residents who are prepared to work in any department in Canada. In the past 10 years, since I've been a part of this department and program, the large majority of our graduates have ended up working in tertiary care academic departments, whether that's in a large city or in a smaller city. A much smaller minority have gone on to work in smaller regional centers, and a very small minority that I can count on one hand have ended up working in rural practice, where they combine emergency medicine with a primary care practice. That is, for better or for worse, it's a scarce career choice that people make coming out of our program, but there's no reason why you can't do that if that's one of your career goals. However, we are going to be providing you with the skills necessary to operate in any emergency department in Canada, I believe. In terms of where in Canada graduates go, that entirely depends on you. We will support you no matter where you're from and where you plan to be. In the last few years, people have graduated and gone on to almost every province in Canada, from coast to coast and even up north to the territories. So wherever your objective is, we will support you in your application and your career transition to whatever that environment might be. So a little bit about what to expect for the interview. We are going to be doing a sort of multiple mini interview. There are going to be 6 staff interviewers, actually 5 staff interviewers and 1 resident. We will each be in groups of 2, so you will experience 3 10-minute interviews where you will be asked questions which we hope will elucidate aspects of your character and candidacy that were not revealed in the paper application, which has already been reviewed by 9 staff reviewers. So at the end of this, we're going to have an aggregate score for each candidate that combines their interview score with their paper score, and that's how our rank order list will be created and how our match will happen here in Calgary. During each room, you'll be asked a couple of questions. We ask you just to answer as honestly as possible with the experiences that you've had, and try not to worry about any hidden agendas, because there are not any at all. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about anything that I've said, if you have any questions about your circumstances or anything that might be unique to yourself, you are welcome to email me. You have my email already from the email that you're receiving this video on, and so you're free to reply back to me personally, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Best of luck, and hopefully I will meet many of you either as residents in our program next year or as future colleagues in emergency medicine in the future. Take care.